All right, hello and welcome to this weather update. It's a little before 10 o'clock on January 23rd, 2019, as we are looking at yet another heavy rainstorm across our area. So first I want to read the briefing for this rainstorm that is coming into our area. So let's take a look at that. And This is going to basically be, we're going to have a wind advisory, so we're going to have an LLJ type of event with heavy rain, 1 1/4 to 2 1/4 inches, locally higher amounts. This covers the entire the entire tri-state region. Wind gusts of 20 to 30 miles an hour with winds sustained 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts to 50, which could result in scattered power outages, scattered down tree limbs and power lines, and some coastal flooding and marine impacts too. So it's going to be another tropical rainstorm that we're going to be going through tomorrow, and it's not going to be very pleasant right through the morning into the early afternoon. And yes, thunderstorms are possible too. So let's now go to the current conditions outside. We'll look at Ventus Sky to show you the warmth that's already coming off from the south. And you can see this feed is coming right from the tropics right into our area, you can see here the warmth all throughout. All right, and right now on the island, it's in the mid-40s. Temperatures are rising, but in Jersey, it is already into the 50s. So I expect it might even hit 60 there tomorrow. We will look at the models. So let's take a look at the dew points too, because I will show you already that we're going to have some humidity coming in too tonight. So you can see we have dew points into the 50s over here. So that air is going to be coming up our way. So now let's go ahead and look at the radar and show you the storm. So here is the storm right here on the radar. You can see some heavy rain, thunderstorms, all that stuff that is occurring. That is all coming up from the tropics all the way up the east coast. So let's get to the models and take a look and see what's going to go on. Now we're just going to look at this storm here. Let me back this up here. So we're going to first start with the GFS. And I'm just going to cover the storm into the weekend, basically. Not going to go any further beyond that right now. Because we got to get through this storm, and this is going to be a doozy. So here we go. Lots of heavy rain. Look at that. This is the GFS. It has yellow over us. It's actually getting, I think it's actually gotten significantly wetter in this particular run. This is the 18Z run. So let's take a look and see what the precipitation will be here. Oh yeah, it's gotten heavier now. Now it has some areas close to 2 inches, close to and possibly over 2 inches across our area. There could definitely be some readings that high. That's for sure. So again, this heavy rain is going to be around tomorrow. So let's take a look at the temperatures and show you the warmth that's going to be coming into the area. Again, I'll back this up so you can see here the warmth that's going to be advecting into the area. Here you go. Look at that. Shoots the temperatures up. It's already in the 50s in Jersey, and Long Island's going to be well into the 50s too. You can see this tropical air coming out, coming right up the east coast. And if we look at the dew points, you'll see that the humidity is also up there too. So this is, dew points in the 50s. So look at that. You see the wind barbs here straight from the south. This is coming right from the tropics all the way up the east coast. So again, this is what we're getting now with this pattern we're in. Instead of snow, we're getting all this tropical weather. So let's take a look at some of the other models. Let's go and look at the NAM. And this actually is the 0Z run of the NAM. So we actually have the 0Z run in. So we're already on temperature, so we'll look at that. You can see pretty much. Actually, this is the dew points. You can see pretty much the NAM is pretty much reflecting what's happening. And then once this moves through, once the cold front moves through, it's going to cool off significantly into Thursday and Friday. And you can see there's much drier and cooler air that's moving in. All right, but let's get to the precipitation. That's the main thing that we're going to be talking about here. And actually, I want to just, because there's not going to be much snow, there's not going to be any snow with this. Just go radar and 10. This will show the wind. So you can see where the front is. All right, so this is the radar reflection here, and look at that. You can see here this line, it's heavy rain with very strong gusty winds through Thursday morning with the low-level jet, and then when that cold front comes through, there's going to be a line, a squall line developing sometime in the late morning to early, probably more like early afternoon, say noon to like 2 o'clock. A squall line is going to move across our area. These actually do look like some pretty hefty thunderstorms that could develop with thunder and lightning, strong winds, and heavy rain. So we'll change this to the other look here, because this looks a little different here. And I'll show you again. Look, we have purples here. We have purples. This is going to be a very intense squall line that's going to wind up moving through our area tomorrow. Very intense. So it's right around, I would say, 1 o'clock or so, the timing on this. This is going to be a nasty squall line. It could cause some power outages. It's going to be like a summertime squall line type of deal. Because you have this very humid, warm air to the right of this front, and to the left you have much drier air, and the two air masses are colliding and creating this violent weather. I wouldn't even be surprised if there could be a tornado somewhere. Yeah, a freak tornado or water spout. It's not out of the question. It really isn't. So let's take a look and see what the total rainfall is on this. And you can see, yep, pretty much, again, that 1.5 to 2 inches is possible across our area tomorrow. So yeah, it's going to be a very stormy day, and then it'll quiet down in the afternoon once that front moves through. But we have to get through these thunderstorms, and like I said, they look pretty hefty. That's for sure. So we'll just play around and look at the clouds for a moment and see if we can clear it out on Friday. It probably won't. Yeah, it clouds right over again. Maybe there'll be some sun in the afternoon, maybe, but it looks like some cirrus is going to roll in. So, you know, getting clear skies is very hard. We went over that yesterday. I'm not going to talk too much about it because we have this weather event, and this is a real hazard here, this weather event. So let's take a look at the HRRR model and take a look and see. That doesn't go far enough out. All right, so we'll look at the RGM model. And you can see again, here's that heavy rain. I mean, the worst of it's going to be late morning through the early afternoon. There's again that really heavy rain. Really heavy rain. Look at how intense this is offshore. This is not something you're supposed to see in January. All right, this is the 0Z run. Let's see what the total accumulated precip is on this model. All right, it doesn't go out as far on the total accumulated precip on this one, so I'll have to look at the earlier run at 18Z. Yeah, pretty much the same deal, 1.5 to 2 inches. Higher amounts inland on this particular model. Now let's look at the HDRPS. Let's see how that does. So the HDRPS, wow, the HDRPS is not as heavy over us at all. Actually, it's much lighter. It's only 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain. So let's see what it does with the precipitation. See how it. So it actually, this is totally different now. This doesn't have a squall line developing, and instead, the squall line and the heavy rain is more diffuse, and it's more over New Jersey and inland. And there's like a little gap that Long Island falls in through. A possibility. It's a possibility, but again, given the type of the two different types of air masses, I would expect that there could be a squall line. And again, offshore, you could see some purples. This is a very heavy, very intense thunderstorm activity that will be offshore. So just bears watching, you know. Let's take a look at the icon model here. Look at the icon ICON model too as well, and see what's going to happen here. So again, similar type. The ICON also is a little more like the HDRPS. Let's take a look and see what that outputs. So total accumulated precip. Yeah, it has the heavier. So some of the models have the heavier rain off to the northwest. RGEM, HDRPS, and ICON to some extent have a different look than the GFS and the NAM. We'll have to see. It's possible that the cooler ocean waters may weaken the thunderstorms somewhat, but again, we're dealing with very humid air that's going to be moving into the area. So honestly, the possibility of thunderstorms and some of them being strong or maybe even severe is there. So just a few more things I want to look at during the last part of this weather update. This is at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and show you where the front is here, and you can see these the very strong winds from the south. This low-level jet that's literally coming right out of the tropics, going over us, and the front with the cooler, drier air off to the west. So we're looking at the lifted index here, and this is the lifted index, and not very high over us, but to the south it is. You could look at Cape as well. and there's not really much here with that. Let's take a look at Cape Shear. See if there's any. Yeah, there's some, and this could indicate possibility of rotation. Not very high odds, but again, sometimes the models underestimate this. Let's look at wind shear as well. That is high. Yeah, that is up there. So we could see some wind shear as well. There actually is quite a bit of wind shear. So there could be quite a bit of wind shear tomorrow, and we'll look at helicity too. So look at all the parameters basically that cause thunderstorms, and you can see they're up there. So some parameters are up there. So like I said, there's a possibility that we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow. It would not surprise me. And if we actually look at the precipitation echoes, this is what it looks like here. So again, you can see that heavy rain. Some of this over an inch an hour. Look at that. Some of these are over an inch an hour. So again, it's going to be very stormy tomorrow. Late is the worst of it's going to be late morning, particularly I think in the afternoon hours, early afternoon between 12 and 2. So let's last part of this video. We're going to look at the sea surface temperature anomalies, and I mean, look at this here. I'm going to zoom in a little more, and you can see this tongue of just boiling water off the. This almost looks like there's a hot plate in the ocean. What is causing this? This is really strange. And you can see it's just streaming right off the east coast. And this is why we're getting these rainstorms. And the airflow is coming right off this very warm water. So the anomaly here is 6.3 degrees Celsius. Yeah, let me move this over here so you can see 6.3 degrees Celsius. I don't know if you can see that in the corner. But it's a 6.3 degrees Celsius is the anomaly in this spot that I've highlighted. 6.3 Celsius. That's like 12 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's very high, and then it's even worse as you go over here. 11 degrees Celsius anomaly. Now you're talking, what, 20 degrees above normal? So this is very disturbing, and this is all going into the Arctic, too, and it roads the ice sheet. So this is like I said, this is very dangerous conditions that we have. And let's go ahead and look at the actual sea surface temperatures and show you that. Show you how warm it is. So again, this is where the air is coming from. You have water temperatures that are well into the mid-70s over here. So this is where the air is coming off of. So it's going to add a lot of humidity and fuel, tropical air, into our area. All right, and it extends all the way up. Look at this. Even this far north, look, you have water temperatures in the mid-70s. Even about maybe 200, 300 miles off Newfoundland, you have water temperatures in the 70s. There's something really, really wrong here. There's something very wrong here, and that's why this is a climate emergency, but nobody takes it seriously. Now, again, I'll show you the cooler waters off the west coast. So, see, the west coast doesn't have this issue. Their water temperatures are much cooler, all right? See, you don't have that tongue of hot water on the west coast, and that's part of the reason why they don't get this humidity that we get on the east coast, and it's going to get worse with climate change. And again, my theory is as to why we're not getting the clear air, and is because this basically all this warm water is deflecting the cold away and the clear air away from us, and we do get the cold, but the core of it doesn't get over us, and that's why we're seeing all these clouds, and that's why the jet stream is the center of this trough. We're not on the right side of the trough. The trough comes down like this. We're on the wrong side of it, and that's why we can't get any clear weather, and we do get some cold weather, but the cold weather, even though we had a very cold day Monday, it was very transient, and now we're back in the warmth again. It's not staying cold like it's supposed to because of what's going on in the oceans. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this weather update. Again, we are in a climate emergency. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. All right, and I think Washington needs to get with the program and start making this the priority in this country. Solving climate change is the #1 issue that is facing us right now. That should be the #1 issue. Not a border wall, not marijuana, not giving amnesty to illegals, not giving big coal tax breaks and stuff like that. I'm attacking both the Democrats and the Republicans here. No, the priority is combating climate change. That should be priority #1, the environment and climate change. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Take care.